Okay guys, figured I'd take you along on this little trip. I've been hunting down some 914s lately. I've got a friend that, actually my friend that we built the Lamborghini for last summer, looking for a car to build for his son. So we were talking about maybe a 914, like a 914-6 clone with like a Subaru 6. And so he said, yeah, keep an eye out for them. I got online and they're actually bringing pretty good money. Even project cars are a little expensive right now. So I started looking around town to see if I could find any, just sitting field find, maybe alongside somebody's house. And I've actually come up with 3 of them in the last month or so. And so we're actually going to pick up one. This car was actually sitting next to an abandoned house, or an empty house. It wasn't abandoned, but it was empty. And the guy just started cleaning up this spring, and now he's moving it to, well, he's actually moved it yesterday to a storage unit. And so called him today and made a deal. My buddy Travis actually isn't going to buy this car. He's looking for one a little cleaner. But then I was talking with another friend this morning, showing him some photos of some cars I found. Another big field find that we'll be doing a video on, hopefully here in upcoming weeks. And there were a couple of 914s in the background. And he said, hey, could you get me one of those 914s? And I told him about this one here in town, and we just made a deal on it today. So I'm on my way to pick it up. And figure I'd take you guys along, and then I'll also show you the new shop truck, kind of a new venture that a friend of mine and I have going on. That's what we're driving in right now. You notice this is not the Duramax. This is a little bit different, but I'll show you guys that in a few minutes. Anyways, let's go check out this 914. All right, we're back at the shop, unloaded. Figured I'd show you guys this 914 real quick. This is actually the first time I've ever snagged one of these, and actually I didn't buy this car. A friend of mine bought it. I have a friend who's kind of been looking for one of these, and so I've been on the hunt for one, and I've actually found 3 of these in town since I started looking, and found another 2 or 3 out of state. But you know, guys, if you find an old car, I mean, this car has been sitting on the side of a house here in Idaho Falls for, I mean, I can remember it sitting for 3 or 4 years. And probably 2 months ago, I stopped by there, put a card on the door, just a note with my phone number, said, hey, you know, if you consider selling this car, let me know. And turns out the guy, the owner of the property, just sold the property. He's moving everything. He's kind of changing some things around in life, and just decided it was time to let the car go. So, you know, if you're out, if you see an old car sitting somewhere and you're even maybe possibly thinking about picking it up, my advice is just to drop a note, and maybe even a couple of notes, you know, over time, every month or so, or every couple months, just stop in, drop them a note, let them know you're interested. And you never know when you're going to get that phone call when somebody decides that they're ready to let something go. And when they make that decision, the first thing they're going to do is give you a call. So this is it's a decent little car. I actually just locked it right after I got it off the truck, and the key turns, but it's not wanting to unlock. So it's got some rust in the jack point right there, which I guess is supposedly kind of a common area for them to rust. The sails, or these rocker covers, I've got those. They're a little rusty right in this same area. Can't show you the inside right now because, like I say, I locked it, and the key turns, but for some reason it's not unlocking that door. It's got at least one respray on it. This side over here on the right front fender has a repair, or that's kind of been repaired, and you can see this door's possibly off of another car. And then the worst part of this car is this quarter right here, and it's kind of hard to see probably right now with the light the way it is. The sun is beating in on it right now, but basically the guy cut the old quarter, or cut the quarter off, kind of spotted it, patched it up, and then tried to kind of weld it back on, and it's kind of a mess. So really, you know, this quarter panel needs to be completely skinned. So that's probably what's going to happen, is probably going to skin this quarter, fix the door here, fix the fender. And for right now, I think, you know, my buddy that bought this, he's just kind of planning on kind of spotting this side and polishing out the rest of the paint, just kind of running it as is. These have a little air-cooled engine in them. Little 4-cylinder. I believe these are 1700s. You actually pop up this panel here, which I can't do because, like I said, I just locked myself out of it. I'll do a follow-up video on this. I'll see kind of, you know, maybe we'll throw some fuel lines on it and see if we can do like a first start or something on it here eventually. I'm not going to do that right now. I got too many other things going on. But supposedly this car was parked in 2005 because of leaky fuel lines. These are fuel injected, kind of a similar setup as like the late bay window buses, and it was just parked after the owner noticed the fuel line starting to kind of spit fuel everywhere, and just basically parked it for fear of the thing catching on fire. It's not horrible inside. Dash has got a few cracks in it. The seats are in decent shape. It's actually a pretty decent little car, and we picked it up for pretty good price, a couple grand, you know, back of maybe where some similar similar projects cars might be. You know, it's always hard to say what people are actually getting for these things. You see ask prices are really high. I don't necessarily think that's always what they're selling for. And so I think we got a pretty good deal on this car, and I think it'll make a nice little project. I've also got this little car that I just picked up, and it's actually one that had an engine fire. Come around here, you can see the deck lid. You can see my shadow here. This is the worst time of day to be filming, but I just decided to get it done so I can get it done tonight. But little engine fire. We're gonna respray the deck lid. Car's got brand new brakes on it. The owner started putting some new parts on there, so we're gonna go through and rewire all this, get it all put back together. And then this car will actually be for sale. So if you're in the market for a decent little driver, we're not going to get real carried away with it. Like I say, probably just paint the deck lid. It's got a little bit of damage over here, or previous repair over here in this A-pillar. But we're going to have this car up here shortly. Probably do a video on this here in the coming weeks. And then we'll get it for sale as soon as it's ready to go. But anyways, let's go over here and I'll show you what we were driving a minute ago. This is the new shop truck here. This is a joint venture with a friend of mine. We've got this big compound back here, and we decided that it was time to maybe do some towing on the side. And so it's a 2007 International. Picked it up over in Colorado, and I've got a few little things I need to do to it. You can see the fender here's crunched. The bed on it is a little on the rusty side. It's got a lot of surface rust. Probably going to put this thing to work for a while first before we get carried away with finishing up the bed and stuff. But not a bad little truck. Done a few tows with it already, and it sure beats going out with a single car trailer and towing that way. So that's the new venture. You know, you guys, you know, the channel is Volkswear. Our shop is actually called Skeeter's Auto Sales. We do a lot of Subaru sales, every once in a while some VW sales, but this is now going to be Skeeter's Towing. It's, you know, same name as the shop. It'll actually be separate business, and like I say, just a joint venture that I'm doing with a friend of mine. And so if you're in the southeast Idaho area, keep us in mind if you need a tow. If you're passing through the southeast Idaho area and driving your Volkswagen and you run into some issues, keep us in mind, and we'll come out and get you off the road and maybe even bring you over here to the shop and help you get going again. Anyways, guys, that is the 914. That's all I'm doing on it right now for a video. But again, you know, put yourself out there. If you see an old car, an old bus, an old bug, you know, anything you're interested in, just drop a note, drop a card, you know, let people know you're interested in it. This car right here, I dropped this first card on this thing a couple months ago and just got a phone call yesterday. Went over, checked it out, made the deal on it today, and you know, the rest is history. If I hadn't dropped that card, I would have just been driving by this house and saw everything cleared out and never would have known what ended up happening to this thing. So yeah, go for it. Get out there, find some cars, drop some notes, drop some cards, make some rescues of your own. Thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you later.